investigations will come to order. It seems no industry is immune from data breaches that expose sensitive consumer information. Some of the biggest breaches we've seen recently include Google, Uber, Facebook, the department store Saks Fifth Avenue. Government agencies have not been immune from this. They've also suffered significant breaches, including over 20 million security clearance files, background files that were held by the Office of Personnel Management. Locating network vulnerabilities that hackers can exploit to gain access to sensitive information is a key issue. Actually, Senator Hassan and I have worked on this with some specific legislation. She's here this morning. Earlier this year, the President signed our Hack DHS Act as an example into law, which will strengthen DHS's cybersecurity by using white hat hackers to locate previously unknown vulnerabilities in the department's systems. Last night, Senator Carper and I released a report on how the Equifax data breach occurred and how hackers were able to steal personal and financial data from over 145 million Americans. That report documents how Equifax failed to follow basic cybersecurity practices and protocols which prevented the company from identifying and patching an exploitable vulnerability on its system. During the course of our investigation, we also learned the company failed to preserve important documents related to the breach. Equifax employees told us they frequently used a chat application called Microsoft Link. When Equifax first discovered the breach on July 29, 2017, the security team used that chat platform to discuss the hack system and even the company's response. Our report uncovered that Equifax did not issue a notice not to destroy documents related to the breach until August 22, 2017, and failed to set the chat platform to archive any of these chats until September 15, 2017, a month and a half after the breach was discovered, again back on July 29th. Prior to September 15th, Equifax was not archiving any linked chats based on its own document retention policy. Counsel for Equifax told the subcommittee they could not find any of the chats Equifax employees told us about documenting the discovery of the breach. As a result, the subcommittee is left with an incomplete record. So are the American people. After discovering the breach, Equifax waited 6 weeks to disclose to the public on September 7, 2017, that hackers had compromised its collection of personal and financial information, again on over 145 million Americans. Adding to this delay, the hackers had access to the information since May 13, 2017, 3 months before they were discovered. Equifax Chief Executive Officer Mark Begor is here today to discuss our report's finding. We're also going to hear today from Arne Sorensen, Marriott's Chief Executive Officer, on the data breach his company disclosed in November 2018. That breach of the Starwood reservation database occurred in July 2014, 2 years before Marriott acquired Starwood in September of 2016. But this was not the first time Starwood suffered a data breach. In November 2015, Starwood announced it had discovered malware on some of its systems at hotels designed to steal credit card information at the point of sale. At the time, Starwood stated this breach did not impact its guest reservation database. In November 2018, Marriott announced that it had discovered a hacker that had accessed the Starwood guest reservation database. Marriott's investigation determined that the hacker had access to guest information related to 383 million guest records since 2014. As part of that database, the hackers also gained access to over 23 million passport numbers and 9.1 million credit card numbers, most of which were expired. Marriott learned of the breach on September 8, 2018, but waited almost 12 weeks to notify the public on November 30, 2018. The goal of today's hearing and the subcommittee's report is to fully understand these breaches, but also to focus on the future, to focus on solutions. Companies and government agencies alike must take steps to better protect the data consumers entrust to them. That is clear. And when that data is compromised, we need to know as soon as possible so we can do everything we can to ensure criminals are no longer taking advantage of us as consumers. That seems clear. So I look forward to working with my ranking member, Senator Carper, and others on this committee, including the chairman, Senator Hassan, and ensuring that we can move forward with legislation that ensures both the protection of consumer data and prompt notification when data is compromised. I also want to thank Senator Carper and his staff for their dedication to these issues, and to him and his staff for leading this investigation. With that, I turn to Senator Carper for his opening statement.